Shalom. I'm going to start by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem HaKadosh. Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father in ancient Hebrew. Yahweh Shai is the name of His only begotten Son. Those are the names you want to pray to. Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem is in the name. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who will. Peace and salutations to the elect of the nation of Israel. The true Hebrew Israelites of the Bible are the so-called Negroes, so-called Hispanics, so-called Native Americans, as well as you Israelite foreigners that may look like the other nations but believe this truth. This is your brother Shakol. Here with a video lesson. Hopefully it is edifying to the elect. Basically about using wisdom of the scriptures, minding your business. And just things of that nature. Which people outside of the truth, outside of the brothers and the sincere sisters in the truth, they don't mind their own business, and they don't have the wisdom of the scriptures that we have been given by Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai, which is very special. And so, and I speak to myself first and foremost that it's important to apply these scriptures. And again, speak to myself first and foremost. But I want to get this, or inspire this lesson, is seeing this, is from CBS DFW, and is titled Good Samaritans Brutally Attacked After a Cowboys Game. And so we're gonna watch this video. It's just a couple minutes long, and then read something from this, or just go right into the scriptures. Let's
turned on them.
He was in my husband's face, and he had already hit my husband in the face.
First at 5, it's the big story. It started with the trip to the Dallas Cowboys game. We've all been there.
Fair use, fair use, fair use. I think I gotta say that so I don't get a copyright strike.
But a family was excited just to cheer on their team. However, it ended with a couple side by side in the hospital.
Yeah, they say they were attacked after trying nothing more than helping a woman who was in need. Our Caroline Vandergrift today with the exclusive story.
Seeing the Dallas Cowboys take on the Ravens in person was a dream come true for longtime fan Wenceslao Gonzalez.
I never thought I would be able to attend to a game. For my wife and for my daughter to be able to do that for me, that was very special for me.
They'd gotten the tickets for him for his birthday, but their celebration took an unthinkable turn as they were leaving the game and saw a man screaming at a young woman.
She was sobbing and she looked scared.
Lindsay Gonzalez felt like she had to intervene to tell her to get away from this man. That's when they say he turned on them.
He was in my husband's face, and he had already hit my husband in the face, and I was trying to separate them. And that's it. That's all I remember. Next thing I remember was waking up in the hospital.
She says the man had punched her too, knocking her out cold. When Lindsay was on the ground, her daughter and other witnesses watched him kick her in the face, according to Arlington police.
And I think I have a total of 12 fractures in my face. My jaw was broken on the left side.
It took 4 metal plates to repair the damage, but doctors don't know if Lindsay will ever look the same again. Wenceslao had to have surgery today to repair torn ligaments in his leg.
Our whole worlds have been turned upside down. Our lives may never be the same after this.
Arlington police arrested 32-year-old Rafael Ramirez that night for the attack, but the family doesn't understand why it took so long for help to arrive.
It was just really frustrating that there wasn't more police presence, there wasn't more security around to do the job that they were supposed to be doing.
Ramirez has been charged with 2 counts of assault causing bodily injury.
I never wish bad upon anybody or want to see any harm come to anybody. I do want him to pay for what he's done, though, and I want it to be fair and just.
The Gonzaleses say their 5 kids are keeping them going right now, along with the hope that what happened is a wake-up call for the woman they tried to help that night.
If I saved her, then it was worth it.
But now they'll think twice before intervening in a similar situation again.
Good that you try to be a good Samaritan, but at the same time, what's going to happen if I am a good Samaritan?
The team told me all events at AT&T Stadium are staffed appropriately with security and law enforcement, and guest safety is always a priority. But the Gonzalez family says they will never come back here again. In Arlington, I'm Caroline Vandergriff, CBS News, Texas.
First at 5, it's the big story.
Okay, so you see what happened? This family intervened at a football game. And basically they saw a woman in trouble and they intervened, and they ended up paying them back, bited them in the proverbial asses by intervening at this football game. And so let's read it, because then it'll give more specifics. North Texas couple is recovering from a brutal attack at a Dallas Cowboys game, and they want to warn others about what happened. The Gonzalez family attended their first ever Cowboys game on September 22nd at AT&T Stadium. It was a dream come true for Wenceslao Gonzalez, a longtime fan. Quote, I never thought I'd be able to attend a game, he said. For my wife and daughter to be able to do that for me was very special for me. They got him the tickets for his birthday, but their celebration took an unthinkable turn as they were leaving the game and saw a man screaming at a young woman. And we're not to celebrate our birthday in this crew. This is as a side note. So we're not supposed to be doing that. Which is not the point of the lesson, but I just want to bring that out. So it said they got him the tickets for his birthday, but their celebration took an unthinkable turn as they were leaving the game and saw a man screaming at a young woman. So they wanted to be good people and stop that. And it ended up biting them in the proverbial butt when they did that. And she was sobbing, and she looked scared, and she looked very similar to the age of my daughter, said Lindsay Gonzalez, Wenceslao Gonzalez's wife. So basically it sounded like they were pitying her, and they wanted to help. Lindsay Gonzalez said she felt like she had to intervene to tell her to get away from this man. That's when they said he turned on them. I know he was in my husband's face, and so the man they tried to stop ended up attacking them, and they got injuries. For they was it not, the video said it knocked out torn ligaments along to that effect. So they got repaid for intervening. I know he was in my husband's face, and he had already hit my husband in the face, said Lindsay Gonzalez. I was trying to separate them, and that's all I remember. Next thing I remember was waking up in the hospital. And so, it doesn't say it specifically, but I think that it was his wife that was the one that got everybody involved. I think the man's woman says something, and they probably I'm speaking as a man on this part, then he probably wanted to step up and do something, look tough for his woman, or Jake was just being a simp. Who knows how it happened, but I'm just thinking spiritually his woman could have dragged him into something that he normally wouldn't have paid attention to. And that's also another thing to be wary of, and to apply wisdom with these women. So it says, I know he was in my husband's face, and he had already hit my husband in the face. Said Lindsay Gonzalez. I was trying to separate them, and that's all I remember. Next thing I remember was waking up in the hospital. Lindsay Gonzalez said the man punched her too, knocking her out cold. When she was on the ground unconscious, her daughter and other witnesses watched him kick her in the face, according to Arlington police. And so that's the point, is that to avoid these situations and just walk in the wisdom of the commandments of this Bible and the whole book, and to not be like these people. If you see, you don't want to be a Captain Save-A-Ho. If you see things happening around you, it's not your obligation to go in there and do something about it. You just gotta walk according to what the scriptures say for yourself, and and your salvation for the Lord Yahweh Shai Shai, first and foremost. And if you got the kids in the truth, you take care of your kids and your family and stuff. Some brothers don't have kids and families. But whatever is your situation, brothers may deal with having their families different ways, whether your family is in the truth or not. But first and foremost, that you don't want to get, because you getting involved in a situation can also get your family involved in the situation, which you wouldn't want to do that. And you want to have your family listen to you, women and children, so that they wouldn't be disobedient and do something like this and get you pulled into a situation. You want to try to get them out. And so in the time of Jacob's trouble is coming, there's going to be a lot of death in Jake getting in these terrible situations, which they deserve. The first thing is that these people deserve what they get to them, being kicked in the face, and getting punched and things like that. In the time of Jacob's trouble, it's going to be much worse, and these people are going to get it. So first, they deserve what they get, and we just want the hope and the protection of Yahweh Shai for deliverance and being protected and fed, and ultimately salvation in the kingdom. But we're going to see a lot of there's going to be a lot of death in these times, and so you don't want to bug out, and you don't want your family to bug out. And while these things ramp up, you want to use wisdom and not get involved, even if you see women and children getting even what they deserve. So we got to look at it spiritually. So let's keep reading on. I think I have a total of 12 fractures in my face, she said, around my left eye, left cheek. My nose had several fractures. My jaw was broken on the left side. So if this woman just minded her own business and used wisdom, she would have avoided the 12 fractures in her face, in her personal injuries, as well as her husband, in whatever problems he got now. I think was with his foot or something, or his leg. So just minding your own business can go a long way. Get home safely. It's better to not get involved. And I speak to myself first and foremost. It took 4 metal plates to repair the damage, but doctors don't know if Lindsay Gonzalez will ever look the same. So wow, it says they don't know if she'll ever look the same. Just for doing some little getting involved in a situation that she didn't need to. Wenceslao Gonzalez had surgery Thursday to repair torn ligaments in his leg. Never imagined something like this could ever happen to Lindsay Gonzalez. Never. Arlington police arrested 32-year-old Rafael Ramirez that night for the attack, and he's been charged with 2 counts of assault causing bodily injury. I never wish bad upon anybody or want to see any harm come to anybody, Lindsay Gonzalez said. I do want him to pay for what he's done, though, and I want it to be fair and just. Our whole world has been turned upside down. Our lives may never be the same after this. And so the Lord Yahweh Shai put all these people in the situation because that's where He wants them. And so this is the Lord's will, and we don't want to intervene or interfere with the will of Yahweh Shai or power. We're just gonna wait and sit and let these things happen. Because the Lord Yahweh Shai wanted that man to go to prison and wanted these people to get injuries. Well, all these things happen for a reason. Whether it's either for their salvation or their destruction at the end of the day. And it's looking like it's going to be for their destruction. But who knows if they're of the elect or not. Because we don't really know yet. But just as a point to use wisdom and to see what happens. Getting involved in situations that you see these people in the world doing. Who knows if they're even in the world. But I mean, it didn't look like they knew they were Israelites, but just these people not minding their own business and is messing their lives up. And they got kids and stuff. I was gonna say the Gonzalez said their 5 kids are keeping them going right now, with the hope that what happened is a wake up call for the woman they tried to help that night. So now it's gonna mess up their family life, their work life, shit, even in the their personal relationship in the bedroom life. So their whole life is messed up. They got injuries, all for not minding their own business. If I saved her, then it was worth it, said Lindsay Gonzalez. If I save one person, or if I help one person, or one woman, or anybody by putting my story out there, then it's worth it. Because if he could do this to people who just walked by and said something, we didn't do anything to him. All we did was walk by and say something. If he could do something to this extent to random people, who knows what he was doing to her, said Emma Hernandez, who went to the game with her parents and tried to stop the attack. But now they'll think twice about intervening in a similar situation again. And so, I mean, just pretty much get the point. You don't want to, especially with these women, you don't want to get soft for these women, especially that you don't know. These women won't even be loyal to you if you do know them, so how much more a woman that you don't know, who's wicked. It's good that you tried, probably stop after this paragraph, and then get to the scriptures. It's good that you tried to be a good Samaritan, but at the same time, what's going to happen if I am going to be a good Samaritan? Said Wenceslao Gonzalez. So being a good Samaritan or a good person or a citizen is not going to get you saved. It's not going to get you on a chariot. You're only going to find yourself with more problems. And so it's important to understand it and to learn from the examples. So now we'll get to the scriptures. put a link in the description box, Lord willing. Start with this one. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, also known as the book of Sirach, chapter 11 and verse 9. Strive not in a matter that concerneth thee not, and sit not in judgment with sinners. And so don't get involved with these situations that don't have anything to do with you. And so it's just that simple. Now we'll just read verse 10. My son, meddle not with many matters, for if thou meddle much, thou shalt not be innocent. And if thou follow after, thou shalt not obtain, neither shalt thou escape by fleeing. And so, getting in other people's business it just brings trouble. You're gonna find yourself in trouble. And so you want to. So it's more wise. It's better to say it's not my problem. To mind your own business, it can bring more peace to your life. And so I want to read that again, both those verses. Ecclesiastes, also known as Book of Sirach, chapter 11, verse 9. Strive not in a matter that concerneth thee not, and sit not in judgment with sinners. My son, meddle not with many matters, for if thou meddle much, thou shalt not be innocent, and if thou follow after, thou shalt not obtain, neither shalt thou escape by fleeing. And so there's not getting involved with these different situations, knowing when it doesn't concern you, being observant and circumspect, and being able to mind your business is what these people in the world don't do. And if brothers may have problems with that, to pray to Yahweh Shai because it's something you want to be in this truth is and I again speak to myself first and foremost, to apply these things. So minding your own business can go a long way. You don't want to be the hero. You don't want to be the Cause this society is going down, so we're expecting all hell to break loose. So when we see things like this, we rejoice in it. At what happens to these people, they get what they deserve, and want to look at it with a spiritual eye, seeing what the Lord Yahweh Shai is doing, and just hoping for ourselves and our families that we are preserved and delivered, and focusing on walking in this word and in these scriptures and the commandments and these laws, the Bible in its entirety. And so getting in situations that you don't need to be can even bring death upon yourself. And if not death, then it can add affliction to your life, and you end up in adding your own affliction to your life that you didn't even need for no reason. Because playing the hero is not going to get you brownie points with Yahweh Shai. In situations like that, like we just saw. Because these people, especially in the time of Jacob's trouble, because these people are going to get what they deserve now. If the Lord Yahweh Shai might give men spiritual powers and things, but we don't want to get simpy and especially for these women. Now I want to go to this scripture, Proverbs chapter 26, verse 17. He that passeth by and meddleth with strife belonging not to him is like one that taketh a dog by the ears. So you hold a dog by his ears, is going to bite you. And so a person that doesn't mind their own business is going to find themselves in a situation. And so we want to live by these words and remember them, think about them through our daily walk, so that we can walk in wisdom, and it brings life and peace unto ourselves, so we can continue to serve the Lord Yahweh Shmi Shai and get in tune with the spirit of Yahweh Shmi Shai Bashim Kakodash, the Holy Spirit. And so it really brought destruction to these people's lives for intervening in this situation, and it affected their lives. She'll probably never look the same, and their families. And so let's get ready to see more things like that, and for death to increase in the times of Jacob's trouble. So just because we're Israelites, there's only elected Israel that's going to be saved. So in the time of Jacob's trouble, it's going to be a time of distress and death for the wicked of our people, the wicked so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, which includes the men, the women, and the children. So we can't be in the spirit of pity, getting ourselves involved with their destruction that they deserve. And so, because we only want to teach the elect, we're only rooting for the elect on this side. The 2/3 will be in the kingdom. They're really our enemies. They don't like us. They don't like the Lord Yahweh Shmi Shai, the wicked of our people. And it's likely that they'll deliver us up to these police officers, whatever, these government officials, to have us put in prisons. And so in women, it's very likely that these women will do that too. And so don't try to save people that don't want to save you. Don't trust in these Edomites, don't trust in these heathen, don't put your trust in these women. Trust in the Lord Yahweh Shmi Shai. And there's a trust that we have in the brotherhood that fear and serve Yahweh Shmi Shai, but always walk in wisdom of this word. And so the times that we're entering into or evil times, we're in evil times where there's Hurricane Helene. And so do you see the port strike? World War III is on the scene. Jacob's trouble is finna pop off in full effect, the MOTB, the microchip. And so we want to stay in his wisdom and knowledge. Scripture says wisdom and knowledge should be the stability that at times we want to be in the secret place of Yahweh Shmi Shai, and hopefully get that protection from the Lord and their salvation. And so I didn't want to make this too long, but yeah, I hope this was edifying. So with that, I'm going to give all praise and glory to Yahweh B'Hashem, Yahweh Shai B'Hashem Kakodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostle, great millstone of the world. Shalom to the elect.